Good morning. Happy Thursday, Terry. The last day of the week, work week for you, but you'll be back a little bit later on tonight, of course, when
Yep.
we have our Players Edge show with our special guest tonight is John Dooley, who is the voice of Fairgrounds, was the voice of Arlington Park here in Chicago, but unfortunately, they closed the Arlington Park track, as we talked about many times during that process. And we'll be talking tonight about the Louisiana Championship races. So you're going to make sure you tune in for that. That'll be at 9:30 right here on Horse Racing Radar TV. I'll also be tonight on with the Triple Clowns talking about the Pick Four on Saturday, the late Pick Four at Oaklawn Park. So you might check out that Triple Clown show. I think they'll post theirs tomorrow. And Terry and I will be doing Oaklawn Live on Saturday. So, covering a lot of common ground in the next the next 12 hours or so, Terry.
It sounds like it to me. Yeah, a lot of work to get done.
Oh, yes. I am the James Brown of horse racing. I'm the hardest working man in horse racing, Terry. I don't think there's any question about that.
No question. I agree that you are.
What did James Brown say? You got to pay the cost to be the boss.
That's it.
Yes, prophetic words from James Brown, one of my favorite entertainers growing up. Hey, Terry, we're going to start a little bit out of order today because, Terry put me in no position. He put me in a box, so to speak. Because Terry's box it up is in race number 2 at Fairgrounds today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So race 1 is probably about, 60 minutes from now, about an hour or so.
Yeah.
And so we just want to make sure everybody's ready for race number. Oh, that's the hot dog pick for it. I'm giving everything away early today, Terry. There you go. There is the box it up today, Terry. Yours is at Fairgrounds race 2, as I mentioned. Let me get this big thing out of the way. Tell us what you got there.
Well, at the Fairgrounds, the second race, I like number 5, going to go to a go-go.
Yes, and nobody knows what a go-go is nowadays, Terry, right?
No, that's way back in the 60s.
What was a go-go?
It was a place where you went and danced and did all the go-go dancing.
So, yeah, like a nightclub. There was a song, I think, Going to the Go-Go. I don't remember who sang it, but anyway.
Actually, I think it was in the 70s, not the 60s. But anyway, number 4 is a Runaway Henny. Number 6 is No Fans in the Stands.
Yes, that's the horse named after COVID, I guess.
Yeah, probably. And number 2 is Perfect Diva.
Perfect Diva. Well, my is Aqueduct race number 7, and I picked Aqueduct race number 7 for a few reasons. It's almost like the story of my life. Ricky's Revenge. My name is Rich. Everyone used to call me when I was a kid. A lot of people called me Ricky.
Oh, really?
Yes, they did. Except my mother when she was mad at me. Then she called me Richard. Get your ass over here. I thought my middle name was Get Your Ass Over Here. Anyway, my Ernie Banker. I was a financial analyst for a while. My favorite team is the Cubs. I don't know where Raven Rocks hangs in, but I used to grow up I grew up in the Poconos and used to hang out at a place called Red Rock, where we would jump off of cliffs, jump off of bridges into the river, which was a lot of fun. And Brunette, the first girlfriend I had was a brunette, Christine. So that's sort of my life story right there, Terry. In a 4-horse box it up, $1 exacta, $1.50 trifecta, and a 10-cent superfecta box. So when I saw that, I was like, you know what, Terry? There's no way in the world I can't play that one.
Oh, no, you have to. You really have to.
And both of us hit exactas yesterday. We missed the trifectas. We, of course, missed our pick 4. But anyway, let's get to the news of the day, Terry. I feel like, that's normally where we go in here. And I think maybe the pressures are going to start to build on Bob because I think that this NOLA.com writer, Michael Baychuk, says renowned trade Bob Baffert has become a threat to the sport of horse racing. It was almost like he was listening to our show the other day.
Yeah, because that's exactly what we were talking about and you said. So that's really, I thought, oh, well, did that guy watch us and then use it for his article? So
maybe we were the inspiration for that. But he does mention about all of the things that the Bob Baffert fan club chairman, Tom Carley, has to say.
Yeah.
He had the California and all the racing boards have turned the other way when things have gone haywire for the hair of horse racing, Bob Baffert. And I feel like with Churchill Downs now kind of pushing against him, the inability to go ahead and run his horses. And he does probably have the best 2-year-old, maybe right now anyway, with Corniche. And then not being able to put that in there, the Medina Spirit might be the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back, right? The one last thing that just kind of collapsed it all on him.
It could be because it's really been in the news, and it's been on TV, all kinds of stuff. So, and I think people are really taking a notice of what's going on there.
Yeah, he's basically in a no-win spot anymore, right? And I feel like the pressure from the media is going to grow on him. And then I'm kind of surprised. I predicted he would walk away after the Breeders' Cup, so I was wrong on that. Kind of like my singling of the 4 yesterday, but we'll see. Pollock reports that jockey Robbie Albarado is going to call it a career. If you're a Robbie Albarado fan, his last race will be this Saturday at Turfway Park. He says it's just time to retire, Terry.
Yeah, he's 59 years old. And, he's had a long career, like 30 some years that he's raced the road horses. And he had a little problem a couple of times in his career. But other than that, he's been a pretty good jockey.
Yeah, we all have problems in the course of our lifetime, and just different problems, right?
That's right.
Yeah, across from the time we go from dust to dust, there's a lot of things that happen. Some good, some bad, some happy, some sad. I feel like I'm writing a song for the Beatles. In his lifetime, he had, according to Equibase, I'm looking at it right now, 34,113 starts. He won 5,222. Maybe he wants to win 3 more, so it's symmetrical. 5,225. That look good.
Yeah.
And then he's finished. He's more wins than seconds or thirds, and he's won about $250 million, $221,560,458 Terry in purse money. That's some serious change.
It is, yeah. Like I said, he's been a good jockey. I've always liked him, and never had a problem with him on my horse. So.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with him either, Terry. I feel like he's been kind of he's kind of been, I don't want to say underappreciated, but in the era of the Mike Smiths, and now you got the younger guys like Irad, he was always kind of that guy that was underneath. But when you were doing your handicapping and he came up on your ticket as the jockey that you had, you were never like, oh man, I got to jump off this one.
That's right. I was the same way. I always thought, oh, good, he's on there. So
yeah, indeed. I always had a just like a good feeling about Robbie Albarado. We wish you good luck in your retirement. We'll probably see him. I would imagine, like retired football players, retired hockey players, retired athletes in general. They seem to come back in some other form in the same sport that they left.
Yeah, trainer or jockey's agent or something.
For sure. Well, maybe he can join us, Terry. That would be awesome. Robbie, there's an open invitation. If you want to join us and be the third person on the show, we would greatly have you. We wanted to have you on here. We would love it.
Yeah,
you can do your best bet like Terry does his best bet.
That's right.
How did your best bet do yesterday, Terry?
Well, I was really excited because right there until the very end, I was leading that race with Bahamian Moon. Bahamian Moon. Yeah, in the 4th race at Tampa Bay Downs. But unfortunately, I got beat and ran second, but I paid $4.40 to place and $3 to show. And my second pick ran out, but my third pick, Lady Jean, she ran third and paid $5 to show. So today...
Hey, hold on. You're going a little too fast, Terry. We got to do these things in order, man. I got to bring up your pretty picture on the screen. And then I got to take this away so we can follow along with Terry's best bet of the day, which if you can always find it every single day over at horseracingtoday.net. If you head on over there today, again, John Dooley will be our guest tonight. We have a question and answer with him over there. And, he tells us about he went to St. John's in the 80s. And if you were around back then, like I was, and Terry, they had a big rivalry in the Big East. It was probably peak Big East basketball. And he says he's surprised he still has a voice after yelling at Syracuse coach Jim Boeheim for 4 years as loud as he could. So it was actually a pretty fun read. But anyway, you can find that over at horseracingtoday.net. And of course, you can find it on our social sites at Horse Race, the number 2, the word day. So Horse Race Today. at Facebook and on Twitter. All right, Terry, sorry to interrupt you, but
No,
that
that's
just kind
fine.
of popped in my mind, and I have ADHD, and if I don't get it out right away, I'll forget.
I understand. So, well, anyway, my pick of the day today is at Fairgrounds, where we're going to do our pick 4, and it's the 5th race. Um, and I believe it starts a pick 5. I'm not sure about that, but I think it does.
Probably.
Yeah. So anyway, I like number 4, Citizen West. Ran second in his last race at Gulfstream Park, earning the highest last race speed rating, and now it drops in class. And then number 3, 55 Strong, ran third versus similar in her last race as a favorite, but the trainer wins 26% of the time in bringing a beaten favorite back to the races. And then number 5, Cipriano, ran second. Cipriano ran second versus Tougher in his last race at Churchill Downs, was claimed 2 races back, and the trainer wins 34% of the time when he races him the second time after a claim.
So. Now, if this 55 Strong had been in the race at Aqueduct instead of maybe the Ravens Rock, I probably would have really been all over it because I'm 55, but nowhere near as strong as I used to be, Terry. That's, I'm looking at those. I'm eyeballing those Frank Thomas commercials a little bit harder each and every day.
Yeah.
If you're following along with the Frank Thomas commercials, you might actually understand what I'm talking about there. But anyway, now we're going to head off, as Terry mentioned, to do our Fly 4 at Fairgrounds, which starts in race number 6, Terry. And much like yesterday, we got a bunch of maidens in our group, where just about anything could happen in I think in the opening leg, in the last leg, Terry. So I went through all 4 races before I decided how to craft my hot dog ticket, which is how I would suggest if you're going to do sequence races, betting, I would suggest doing it. I wouldn't suggest doing them race by race. Go through all of them, get a sense of what each race looks like, and then you can start to balance out your tickets. But the way I balanced out my ticket was fat on the top and fat on the bottom and skinny in the middle, Terry. And I feel like based upon these races, that's the right way to go. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I think you're right about that. You know, these 2-year-old horses that are maidens are hard to find out or figure out who's going to win.
But especially when they've run and they've not done anything but finish 60th by 60 lengths, every one of them. You're like, what do I do with this one?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, but I went ahead in this race, and my top pick is Words of Wisdom, this 2-horse. And, you know, he has Brad Cox as a trainer, and he has Brian Hernandez as the jockey. That trainer-jockey combination does pretty well. He's trying grass for the first time. Drops in class today. The winners the Dams had 1 winner from 1 starter and 1 turf winner, and he's got Lasix for the first time, and the trainer wins 31% of the time when he adds Lasix.
Well, he did have, this is 1 mile and a 16th on the turf, Terry, and so far they've run 11 races at the distance, and strangely, you would think 1 mile and a 16th on the turf, you would naturally be inclined to think it's going to be a closer distance, but no. 9 were won by speed horses, and 4 went wire to wire.
Wow.
So I was kind of surprised by that, to see those numbers. But what I do like to see in that 2-horse is, since it's run, it's put in some nice workouts, Terry, for sure. It does have some decent early pace figures last time out. It wasn't the fastest out of the gate, but it did have, amongst these horses, some of the best late pace numbers. So Words of Wisdom, I figure, even though early speed seems to be the way, I do figure that's going to be a horse that should be on the run, on the move late. And as you mentioned, Brad Cox, it's kind of hard to go against him. Godolphin is one of the best ownership groups in the world right now. They're winning all over the planet Earth. So why can't they win in Louisiana too?
Yeah.
So dropping 2 from $120,000 purse down to a $40,000 purse. So that's a big drop in terms of purse money. Minnesota Ready is my top pick, Terry. And it's a horse that's going to be making its 3rd start off a layoff. Hasn't run since November 13, but did improve sharply from race 1 to race 2. I like to see that. Getting first-time Lasix here, which I feel like will help the horse improve in race number 3. And the workouts, I like, as I've mentioned before, when you look at horses that are about to hit the track, especially younger horses, I like what I call the bullet and go. And here you see with the 3-horse Minnesota Ready, the last workout was on December 3rd. It was the fastest of 69, 47-2. So that's the bullet workout, and then go to the track. So Rich's bullet and go.
Yeah, I like it too. It's my second pick. Has the best prime power number, 119.1. It's first of all these horses.
And
And
when
it
Terry talks about prime number, just let me kind of jump in there really fast.
Okay.
That's a number that's assigned by the folks over at Brisnet, and we use Brisnet as our past performance sheet. So if you like what you see on the screen in terms of past performance, head on over to Brisnet, get your sheets there. We don't have any relationship other than using them, and because we like how they work, we advocate them. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, and also has the highest last speed rating. So I'd like to put this one in.
I have the 3-horse too, Terry. Which one? The 3-horse, right?
3, yeah.
Yeah, you confused me with it. I like to put that in because I put it up there. Who's your next pick?
Number 7, Faith Runner, drops in class today. Has the best turf speed among today's starters. Lasix is being added. Has a sharp workout on December 3rd at Fairgrounds. 9th best out of 69. 48-2, breezing for 4 furlongs.
Okay. I mean, Colby Hernandez, Dallas Stewart. Colby is doing very well so far. Not what I have in my top 7 picks, Terry. Top 6 picks. So is this a lock for you?
No, not necessarily. No.
All right. So one of the horses I have in my picks next, Terry, I have the 6-horse Baltic Fleet.
I figured you would, yes.
You figured I would. Why would you figure I would have that one?
Well, because I do.
All right. Right. Well, last time out, Terry, it did show some nice improvement in its early numbers, which I like to see. It ran one of its best races, does have one of the most consistent histories of being able to run well late. And if you just rewind back one race to Arlington Park, where it ran on a off track at they moved it from the turf to the all-weather track there, I would guess. And it ran its best race on an all-weather track. And it did so at 1 mile and 16th. And it got off to a pretty big lead. And again, I mentioned speed matters here. And that angle going from all-weather or an off-track to turf is one that I'm not afraid of. So I expect to see a Baltic Fleet improve in its second time at a route, Terry. And if it can get to the lead and get an 8-length lead, I hope it doesn't give it up this time.
Yeah, he looks pretty good. He's my 4th pick. And, he's got a really good trainer jockey combination who in the last 14 days has had 4 mounts with 2 wins. And I really like that he's worked out September 18th. Of course, he's raced since then, but that was a really good workout, a bullet workout, 47 flat breezing. So
that was a really good one. Any other horse that you like besides the 7, or do you want to put the 7 in here next, Terry?
No, let's put this. Let's put the 7. Oh yeah. Let's put the 7 because I don't have anything else that
you like. The only other horse that I liked in here, Terry, was the 5-horse, and that's Practice Squad.
Mm-hmm.
Got claimed last time after its last race by Chris Harmon, and that trainer Chris, he wins at a nice 19% with 143 claims. So it's not a small data set by any stretch of the imagination. They're taking that horse. They're going to move it over to grass. So clearly, as trainers have told us over and over and over again, that they do have a race in mind. But I also like it's a $100,000 horse. So it's one of the most expensive horses in the field. So obviously they thought this horse would be okay, or you don't pay $100,000 for him. I mean, it's not $1 million horses like you see, but still pretty strong. But one of my favorite things here, Terry, too, once again, I'll pull it up. When I'm handicapping and I see the Lasix for the first time, and you see with the 5-horse, it did show a little bit of early leg last time out, right? And then kind of held in there. But when you see a horse that kind of wants to go towards the lead or gets up towards the lead, and then it gets the first time Lasix, you're going to see more out of that horse today than you saw in this race here at Churchill Downs. So nice workouts since that November 10th, 11th of 30. So I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Practice Squad, Terry, be amongst the early leaders. And if he is amongst the early leaders, then that Lasix, I feel like, could be a big difference. So we'll put the 5 off to the side.
Okay.
In case there's a scratch, right? You never know. Race number 7, Terry, is a mile on the main track. So far, they've only run 3, Terry, so kind of hard to really read much into that. This one's another mating race. We're just gluttons for trying to really pick the hardest races on the planet.
Yeah.
2 of the 3 winners so far we're speed horses. With only 3, it's kind of tough if that really means anything. There's a really heavy favorite in here, Terry, with the 4 horse. Yesterday, there was a very heavy favorite with the 4 horse. And I noticed the horses that have like oversized heads, Terry, like the 4 horse yesterday. It just seemed like those oversized head horses struggle. I want to see a picture of this 4 horse's head before we pick them.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but I do like the horse. I mean, it's hard not to. It has the highest last speed rating. Whenever it was a favorite last race, and of course got beat. But whenever the trainer brings a horse back that was beaten favorite, wins 25% of those races. And he has the best, or she has the best dirt speed among today's starters. So.
One thing, the horse did run up on the lead last time, which is unusual. It was usually the horse is, more of a co-pilot or assistant pilot or whatever the third person in the cockpit is called. Somebody shared with that with us before, and I forgot. But it was a slow race last time. 6.5 furlongs, the opening quarter in opening half in 49-2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a really slow race and couldn't hang on, Terry, which kind of concerns me a little bit. So I think much like yesterday's 4, I kind of want to try to beat that 4, Terry, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking through these horses to see which one's probably going to have the best early pace figures. The last time out, to me, it's either the 6 or the 5, but I feel like the 6 horse, Canada's Customs.
Yeah.
It's making its second start off a layoff. Yeah, it kind of got out of the gate a little bit slow last time. It's like, hey, it's just my first race. Let me look around. Ran green, right? That sort of race. Since then, it's had a couple workouts. Not the best workouts. But when you look at that mid-pace number, even though the horse was 7th by 5 lengths, the mid-pace number still, by comparison, is one of the better first race mid-pace numbers that any of the horses in this field put together. So I feel like the 6 horse is going to be one that gets towards the front and could be a horse that improves a lot in its second start and maybe go wire to wire.
Yeah, I like the 6 too. It's my third pick. As you said, it finished third versus similar in the last start. The horse is ridden by Brian Hernandez, who's winning at a 22% clip. And Steve Asmussen trains, and he needs to get a win there. He's had 12 mounts with no wins so far.
So in the gambler fallacy, Steve is due.
That's right. He's due for a win. So I'm with you at putting this horse in.
Do you want to put any more in here? I mean, I don't want to get beat again by like yesterday, like a big-headed 4.
Well, I do like Brody's connection, number 7.
Number 7. Okay.
Yeah, I think he'll improve at the longer distance. And he's got, a good jump. I mean, a good trainer, James Hodges. So.
Well, those Bodie's horses are always fast. Those Bodie-Meister horses, they usually are horses that get out to the front. I notice a lot of these Bodie, just like I noticed in those, those ping pong ball quarter horses. If it has Jess in its name, you got to kind of put it in your ticket because it seems like every winner on those quarter horse tracks has Jess in its name somewhere. But these Bodie horses tend to be fast, Terry. This one was not fast last time out of the gate at all, but got off to a slow step. Maybe it improves. I have the 7 horse kind of in my mix too, Terry, but I don't have it in my. I was looking at one because of the the pedigree, that Bodie pedigree.
Yeah.
I was also looking at the 5 horse as another possibility for me. Anita's Vision.
Yeah.
Simply because that's another one that has a good history of getting out of the gate pretty fast. But I agree with you. Let's put the 7 in because it's making its second start. The 5 has made a bunch of starts already, so we kind of have a sense of what the 5 is. And then maybe we put the 5 off to the side. Well, we'll put all 5s off to the side today. What do you think?
Yeah, okay. Let's put the 5 off because I like Anita's Vision too. I'm like you. The only negative thing for me is it hasn't raced since August.
And the workouts since then are just kind of blah.
Yeah.
Nothing really all that eye-catching in terms of that. I think with the heavy favorite, the 4 horse there here, I don't feel like I want to put 4 in this spot. Do you? Did we lose Terry again? Well, he had internet connection problem the other day he told me about. So hopefully Terry pops back in pretty quickly, or maybe he's just sick of me, which could be possible. I mean, I think that could be the case. So race number 8, folks, this one is 5.5 furlongs on the turf. You would imagine that it would be one that requires some speed. But actually, in the 3 races so far, 2 of the 3 races have been won by closers. And like the average winner was like 9th at the quarter pole. So, I mean, that's not really speed whatsoever at all. That's really more of that's the definition of closer. Looks like all Terry's family left too since he came here. But in any case, so for me, I'm going to start race number 8 with the 1 horse. That's Commander Kai. Commander Kai does have a lot of speed. Showed a lot of speed in its runs on the turf back in California at Santa Anita and Del Mar. Did come over to Churchill, tried to run on dirt. Didn't really fare very well in that race, which is not surprising to me. When we had Mike Smith on the show, the Hall of Fame jockey, Mike Smith said that there's Terry's back after getting cut off by his internet.
Yep.
Apparently his internet provider did not like his 7-horse selection there, but but anyway, back to Mike Smith. He said a lot of horses they don't take to that Churchill dirt. So apparently Commander Kai is one that didn't. But if you go back to its other short races on the turf, has a win and 2 seconds in 5 starts and some of the best pace figures. So Terry, who do you like, Commander Kai, or who else do you like in race number 8?
Yeah, I do like Commander Kai. He's my top pick, matter of fact. So I'd go with that with no problem.
Who do you like as your next pick?
Number 2, Midnight Blue.
Oh, going a little bit of a long shot, huh?
Yeah, I like Midnight Blue. He's 20-1 on the morning line, and
15-1
anyway,
looks like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to get my.
Your computer crashed?
Yeah, I'm trying to get my thing back up here. So.
Well, it looks like he's done very well at shorter sprints, Terry, because he's hit the board in 25 of 35 at the distance, or between 5.5 furlongs.
Mm-hmm.
And he's run on the fairgrounds course 2 times, and he a fairgrounds turf 2 times, and managed to finish second in both of those. And he's got he had a real nice bullet workout before his last run at Hawthorne. He's really kind of a closer, but as I mentioned before you came back to us, closers have won at this sprint distance at fairgrounds. So that's something that should bode well for the 2. I did not have him in my picks at all, Terry. So I'm going to ask you, do you want to lock him?
Let me look at the 2 here. Yeah, I do. I really like this horse for some reason. I think this horse is going to upset the apple cart. So, yes.
All right. For me, Terry, I kind of ran through the numbers in these horses to see how fast they can run these distances, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
And I came away, to me, I think and there's a lot of scratches here too. So this is only a 6-horse field, even though it was supposed to be a 9-horse field. But the horse that has run the second fastest numbers at this distance behind the 1 horse is the 9-horse, Tapazar's Secret.
Yeah.
It's another $100,000 horse. He's run at these 5.5 furlong distances 5 times, and he's hit the board 4 of those 5s with a win, 2 seconds, and a third. And some decent workouts heading up into this race. Was claimed, making its first start after a claim for Joseph Foster. Not the best angle, only a 15% angle. But nonetheless, those workouts and its history in short sprints, particularly on turf. And when I look at its 5 furlong time relative to everybody else in the field, looks to me like Tapazar's Secret should be one of the, if he runs his time for 5.5 furlongs, his times say he should be amongst the top 2 or 3 when they hit the finish wire.
Yeah, I too like this horse. It's very competitive all the time, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
And I love horses that are competitive that way. It gives me the idea that they have a sense that they want to win the races. It's won 2 out of the last 5. Been second once and third once. So, and even its last race where it ran 4th, it was only beaten 3/4 of length or 3 lengths, and it's checked to the rail at the 3/8. So, it's a horse I think should be put in there.
So we have half of the horses in this field now after the cuts, Terry. We have 3 of the 6. And I feel like this next race, we're going to need as many horses as we can get. Yeah. Do you want to add another one here, or do you want to just put another number off to the side?
Just put one off the side, the 5.
The 5 horse for you would be the
Yeah.
one that you'd put to the side.
Pelavera.
All right. So, like I said, we're going to put all 5s to the side today, right?
That's right.
All right. So, in this last leg, Terry. So, right now we are at 9 times 4 is 36 divided by. So, we can put. How many can we put in here? 6. Well, we can't put 6 in here, Terry. I think we can put 5 in here. 5, 0, 15, 80. Yes, I think we can put. Yes, we can put 5 horses in here, and I think we'll need all 5.
Okay.
I'm going to start. Okay, this one is a 6 furlong race, so we actually have a little bit of history at 6 furlongs. They've run 24 times. 18 of those horses were speed horses, Terry. 9 of the 24 winners went wire to wire. It looks like the inside 7 posts all have similar win rates. Not much difference between the 2 of them. But if you get to 8 and out, it looks to me like you have a little bit of a better chance. I'm going to start. It's not my top pick, Terry, but this is a long shot, and I'm just going to flat out lock them in here.
Okay.
And this is number 4, My Little Leo. My Little Leo, in his debut, was okay bet at the Evangeline Downs. He was pretty much part of the early, by 3.5 lengths off the leaders. Finished 4th, was bet $13, about 14 to 1. Came back to run at Delta Downs and maiden claiming 20,000, and was bet down to about 4 to 1, Terry, or 9 to 2, somewhere in that range. So got bet down fairly well and just didn't run. Just 2-year-old said, you know what, I don't like Delta Downs. Send me over to Fairgrounds, right?
Yeah.
And then they switched trainers to Jose Ramirez, and he doesn't have much of a history with this in terms of horses. He's only had 4 so far. They switched over to him. Not really a big deal. Wilmette Rodriguez not really doing anything yet, but the workouts. There's a workout here, a couple workouts since that have been pretty good. So I have a feeling this to me is that horse that was well bet, that got knocked down, showed some early speed early on in its career and its debut. Didn't really want to run in race 2. There's a reason why the bettors took that horse down to 4 to 1 in its last race.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be 50 to 1 here, Terry. But just in case that angle comes in today, I'm looking for My Little Leo to run back to that first race with a little speed. And that debut pace number or speed number was just as good as anybody else in here. And in fact, his mid-pace numbers, his 4 furlong number, pace-wise, was amongst the strongest.
All right.
I know you didn't have that one.
I did not, but that's
I'm probably the only person on the planet that's taken that one. So let's hope it comes home and gives us like a huge, huge winner today.
Yeah.
And who is your top pick? Because I sure know it ain't the 4.
Yeah, well, that's why you locked it in on that 4. But anyway, I like number 1. Let's stake it outside. Let's take it outside.
Like a fight. Let's take it outside.
Yeah,
buddy. Let's go. You and me.
And he's going to come in fighting. I'll tell you that right now. He's the highest last speed rating. He's tied with another one. He drops in class. The trainer wins 23% of the time when he goes from maiden to maiden claiming. He finished 3rd last race out against tougher horses, and he's been in the money 2 out of 3 starts.
Yeah, one really high quality start in that debut, which is nice. A couple nice workouts. Not the last one. The last one looks kind of like a maintenance workout, but the one before that was okay. 50 and 3 for 4 furlongs. There's a few first time starters in this race, Terry, too.
Mm-hmm.
I think of the first time starters that are in this race, the one to me, Terry, that I want to have in the ticket is the 2 horse. Magic Lightning.
Okay.
And the reason is it's workout simply of all of the horses that are making their first time start have been the best. And if you look here on its November 6th workout and you look at that workout relative to every other horse in the field, it ran 4 furlongs. Well, here it ran 4 furlongs in 48 and 4. And here it ran in 49. So those numbers, if you look at some of these other horses, that would be competitive with what some of these horses have actually run in their races.
Yeah, it's true.
And so if he runs faster and he's not a driving range horse where he does better on the driving range than he does on the course, I think the 2 horse is going to be a part of the early pace here.
Okay, I'll let you go ahead and put it in there. It was my 5th choice, so I'm in agreement with that.
All right, we got two more, Terry. Who are you going to put in?
Number 9, Nice Star. Drops in class today. The trainer wins 50% of the time when he goes from maiden to maiden claiming. He has the best dirt speed among today's starters. He's had 3 out of 5 races in the money and won $11,000. So he's got decent workouts. So yeah, I like this horse.
All right. I had the 9 nowhere in my numbers, so that's well. I'll trust you on that one, Terry.
Okay.
For me, we got a couple. I'm a little concerned about a couple horses in here, but I'm gonna go ahead and let's see which one do I want to go to? Do I wanna go to 6 or do I want to go with the 11? Well, I'm to me it was a tough call between the 6 and the 11, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
They look pretty similar to me in terms of what they bring on paper. The 6 horse is dropping in class for Stephen Flint, making its third start off a layoff. Did show some early improvement last time out relative to the race before, so it's stepping up the ladder, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
which concerns me. And then I also have the 11 horse, Bodie, another one of those Bodemeister horses, Terry.
Yep.
And it's making its second start off it's making its second career start. Debuted on August the 31st. So it comes down to the 11 or the 6 for me. I'm going to let you pick which one of those two we're going to go with, and then we'll put the 5 and the 11 off to the side.
Okay, I'm going to go with the 6 because it's my third pick. The 11 was my fourth pick. I like the 6 dropping in class today. And it has the highest prime power number of any of the horses that have raced. It has a couple of good workouts in a row. And so that's the one I like.
All right, there we go. This is the only one where we didn't put the 5 over to the side, but I actually think the 5 horse could be another one of those horses that's a first-time starter that could be dangerous. So here we go. You have a 5 in every one. So maybe we should just do a $1 pick for just straight 5s, Terry, and see how that comes in.
Let's do that.
Race number 6, we're going to go with the 2, the 3, the 6, and the 7. In race number 7, the 4, 6, 7. Race number 8, the 1, 2, 9. This is like the first time that we've ever picked horses like in numerical order almost. In race number 9, the 1, 2, 4, 6, and 9. That ticket, Terry, I think works out to be exactly $90. Again, hitting sequence races can be difficult, so I would suggest using them in exactas, trifectas, doubles, rolling, pick 3s, however it is you bet, because with 8 by 7, that's 56 times 6. What's that? About 336 times 11. There's probably well over 4,000. There's probably close to 4,000 possible combinations with all of these horses running today. So only one of those combinations is actually going to prove to be a winner.
It's true.
Indeed. All right, Terry. So we, as always, do our pick 4s in the hot dog style, where we don't use such a big budget. We use a much smaller budget. $20 is the maximum we're allowed to go with, Terry. So fire away with yours.
Okay, I like in the first race the 2 and the 3. And then I'm going to single the 4 in the 7th race. And then in the 8th, I like the 2, 4, 5. And in
1.
the 9th and 1. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 4, 5. In the 9th race, I like the 1, 2, 6, 9, 11. I would have liked to put the 3 in there, but didn't have enough money.
Didn't have enough money. Rich restricted him. Daddy didn't let Terry have enough allowance. I barbelled it just like we did on the fly 4. I went with 2, 3, 5, and 6 in the first leg. Race 7, I didn't want the big-headed 4 beating me again like it did yesterday. So I'm going to go with the small-headed 1 to try to not get beat in race number 8. I just feel like that's in the sequence of all the horses that are out there today. The race 8 has the least amount of horses, 6 horses. And with all the scratches, I feel like the 1 horse of all the horses in the field was the best horse in all sequence of the 4 races. And then the 1, 2, 4, 6, and 11 to bring her home. Terry, mine and yours both work out to the maximum budget of $20.
Yep.
And I think that's it, right? Because we did the box it up already. The only other thing that I'll mention to you today is Fairgrounds today is at horse racing, at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. It is the free track of the day. So if you head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet, Almost used a bad word there, Terry.
You
You'll
almost
see
did.
it is the free track of the day. And that was just because of tongue twister, I guess. I wasn't trying to say anything bad. But you'll see it's the free track of the day. So you can click on over to that and then just register. You'll get today. Toughology is a best bet in race number 1. So hopefully Toughology finishes first, second, or third. So you can kind of box it up in in your exactas, trifectas, and whatever other type of races that you like to bet. Yesterday's best bets free track was Penn National, Terry. And with using our top 4 selections, you could have won a potential payouts of $1,234. I think that's a kind of interesting number. And got off to a really good start. Race 1, Terry, a $1 exacta box for our 4 horses paid, I think, $271.
Wow.
That's not bad for an exacta.
No, and you only cost $12 to do that.
Yeah, and if you did the same thing for the trifecta for $2, or $1, the $2 trifecta paid $661.60.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Heck of a way to. I would have won that one and just said, you know what, I'm going to call it a night.
That's it. Done for the day.
Done for the night, indeed.
Yep.
Any final thoughts, Terry, before we get out of here? I know you won't be here tomorrow. You'll be here tonight.
Yes.
Tom and I will be back tomorrow to talk about Hong Kong.
Yes.
It's, I think, their biggest weekend of racing in Hong Kong. At least that's kind of the feeling I've gotten from Tom. We'll be covering 4 races, so make sure you come and check that out tomorrow. It'll be the same place time. Terry and I start at 1 o'clock Eastern. So make sure you check that. Again, Terry and I will be back with the rest of the crew, Sean and Tom, with Fairgrounds announcer John Dooley to talk about the Louisiana Championship Day specifically. I think races, what was it, 9, 10, and 11, Terry? Something like that.
Yes, 9, 10, 11. Or 10, 11, 12.
10, 11, 12. I know it was 3 of the 4. It was the 3 races before the last race because they were all stakes races. So.
Yeah, because there were 13 races there that day. So
it's going to be a long day.
It is, yes.
Indeed. So. All right, Terry, any final thoughts before you head off to vacation and we catch up later on today?
Yeah, well, if you like what you saw today, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and then follow us on Twitter at Horse Racing Today.
What's Horse Race Today? You'll see it scrolling on the bottom.
Horse Race Today. And then like us on Facebook at Horse Race Today and Facebook at Racing Radar. And indeed. I think we're going to start the show earlier starting next year, are we not?
We're going to try to move it up a little bit earlier. I'm looking at some of the metrics online, and I see a lot of people start to show up around 10 o'clock in the morning. So we're going to try to meet your needs, get started a little bit earlier, give us a little bit more time for the video to be out there. So accommodate the people's schedule, right? So we're going to try to start around January the 1st at around, probably around 10 o'clock Central time. So maybe 8, 9 o'clock, somewhere in there, Terry's time. Yeah. We'll get that all figured out by January the 1st. Of course, if you have any suggestions or comments or things that you'd like to see Terry and I add to the show, please let us know. You know, this is a community. We're all here to work together to hopefully find some winners. And any input that we get from you is greatly, greatly appreciated and welcomed.
Yeah, sounds good.
Absolutely. Okay. All right, Terry, we'll see you tonight. Until then, everybody, hopefully all of our Fairgrounds picks today, Terry, and our Box It Up end up in the winner's circle. And I guess I kind of blew the ending, huh?
That's all right.
All right. We'll see you tonight. Everybody have a fantastic Thursday.
See you tonight. Okay, bye.
Wrong button. I'm really blowing the ending, Terry.
Yeah.